Hey, everyone. Welcome back to season two of A Few Short Minutes, the pod. So, new season, new hair, who dis, and I have a new guest. You guys meet Lily. Lily is a friend of mine, and she is an NLP and hypnotherapist coach. Lily really specializes in helping men and women feel empowered and focused on their healing and being in alignment with themselves after they have experienced some major life trauma, little t trauma. It's just the culmination of it all. And her intention is to help them find their inner strength and reach their full potential. And so, Lily, why don't you introduce yourself? What do you want my watchers, my subscribers to know
Well,
about you?
thank you, Stacey, for having me here. And hi, everyone. My name is Lily Kharazian. As Stacey said, I'm an NLP and hypnotherapist. And actually, I believe in a harmony between the feminine and masculine energy. And I feel like men and women both are lacking in that area. So I'm all about the balancing the energies between each individual, regardless of gender,
Cool.
because we all, as an individual, have feminine and masculine energies, and I believe it's very much essential for us to balance and harmonize that energy within us so we can tap into that inner strength, that beauty, that inherent beauty that um, we have to get in tune with so we can just like step into our potential.
Yeah, and I think when the powers are balanced, and tell me if you don't agree or agree, but I think when your masculine and your feminine energy are balanced within you, again, regardless of gender. Sorry for the gender nonconformists. For I don't know how to better to say that. So please understand that you guys are part of this conversation as well. But I think when those are balanced, you kind of flow in life a lot easier because you're not going against your natural tendencies. Do you agree with me, or do you have something to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. Like, for instance, like men in general, they have been brainwashed and programmed to be distant from their emotions. They never connect with their emotions and acknowledge their emotions because there is a stereotype that for men to be just like um, kind of like non-conformant, the kind of non reactionary about the emotions, because if they do, then it questions their masculinity. So that's why they avoid that part of themselves. And they have been brainwashed and programmed from childhood. Not only that, it has been ingrained for generations that men shouldn't acknowledge their feelings. And that's just not like healthy or logical, honestly. So, and in the other hand, women have been ingrained for generations to believe that they are not enough, they're not capable, and they are nothing. Like, even if they want to take steps towards their dreams and aspirations, they hold back because they're like, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I can't, I'm not capable. And that's because like we have been ingrained and programmed to think that way. So, and as far as you are your feminine, your divine feminine individual when you embrace both sides of feminine and masculine energy. And women are not stepping in their divine feminine energy because they haven't embraced their masculine energy. And men are not divine masculine individuals because they haven't been able to embrace their um, feminine energy, you know. So there has been a disconnect, and that's why there is a chaos going on in the world. Because if men have been in touch with their nurturing side, they would have looked at everything from a different perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think it's essential for everyone to kind of balance and harmonize these two energies. And there are certain steps and certain things that you have to follow in order to be able to embrace that harmony within you. And it's very easy because there's no coincidence for me to do what I do. I had to master handling life's most difficult situations. And I believe that if I could do it, anyone can do it. And I
For sure.
believe I actually found my inner strength, and I found the power, the inherent power and beauty within myself, to the point that I want to share it to the world and tell everyone that no one is better or worse than anyone else. We all equally have the same power and capabilities once we tap in to that power which is in within us.
Yeah, absolutely. So you said there are certain steps that people have to follow to get balanced. What's one of them?
Well, one of them is acknowledgement. They have to know where they're standing. They need to know that where they are, it's something that they need to address. There's something that they're dealing with that they need to address. Like, for instance, if they're going through, like, for instance, in a toxic relationship. If you're in a toxic relationship, you have to sit down and with yourself and see that if this is something that would benefit to you, like, what benefits, what are you gaining out of this relationship? And then once you acknowledge that, then that's the first step that you can um, understand that you need help. You either have to, like, take steps yourself to help yourself, which I did. I mean, I worked with variety of mentors and coaches and, like, studied different modalities. It was like literally years of studying and working and just, like, healing to get me to where I am. And I think excuse me, and I think everyone can do it.
Yeah, for sure.
But if
Why did
not,
you
yeah,
go
go
ahead?
ahead. But if not, there are, I mean, great coaches out there that they can um, walk them through every step of the way.
Yeah, so that's actually what I was going to ask. Why NLP and hypnotherapy for you in those particular modalities to help the people the way you do? What makes sense in that line for you?
Absolutely. Well, great question. Well, NLP and hypnotherapists are great tools to reprogram your subconscious mind and your limiting beliefs. Because,
Talk about NLP real fast by itself and then hypnotherapy by itself. I just want to let the people like maybe that don't know about NLP, what it is and why they would want to invest in it. So, would you start with what is
sure,
NLP
yeah.
with yeah, that'd be
NLP
amazing.
stands for neuro linguistic programming, and it literally works with the like brain, like how brains and neurons interact with each other. So, and whatever neuron that fires in the brain, it actually creates pathway of new habits. So there are different techniques that we actually use to kind of like anchor different habits into your brain, into your mind, and or kind of like reframing limiting beliefs. And among different, I mean, there are many different techniques that it seems simple, but yet it's very powerful. And as far as the hypnotherapy, it's also an amazing tool because what happens, we tap in to the subconscious mind. And usually there's we are functioning 5% of the time on conscious mind. 95% is unconsciously. So literally we are constantly, every single day, we're running on autopilot. So, and we try to change our lives, and we have so many dreams and desires, but the subconscious mind is holding us back. And it's not because subconscious mind is kind of like evil. It's actually there for a good reason, because from the day that you're born until 7 years old, your subconscious mind is downloading. So, and a lot of your beliefs are not even yours. They have been ingrained and programmed by teachers, parents, peers, or society or media. So, I mean, now that things are coming out, that there is a science behind all these, that they have there is proven methods that you can take charge of your life and change your brain waves. You can change your habits. You can, and because the reason that we can't like do anything when we want to, it's because we are functioning on autopilot, the wrong habits and beliefs that has been ingrained into us. And it's not too late. You can always change it, change those, and reprogram your brain to into the way that you want to have you live your life. However, it's not going to be easy. Nothing is easy in life. You have to be committed.
Yep.
You have to be wanting to change yourself, to be responsible, to take responsibility, and know that it's doable. It's absolutely doable. And there is that immersed power within us. We are literally source, just experiencing life on this earth, and to expand our awareness, and everything is one. And once we realize that we are powerful, we can have anything and anyone, and we can start loving ourselves.
Oof, that gave me chills.
Yeah.
So I love it. And explain what source is for the people that
Well,
maybe haven't heard that word before.
yeah, source, God, whatever you believe in, the higher power. It doesn't matter what religion that you're from. Any kind of higher power that you believe in, the universe, the source, the God, Lord, whatever that you would think of that you're connected with, that's you. Because honestly, what we are projection of the source. We are projection of the God, the universe. And once we realize that, we can understand that anything is possible in our lives, and we are the creator of our lives. There are different methods that you can proceed with to kind of like make the process much easier. It's the art of letting go. So you have to just go with the flow. You have to swim with the current, because when you do that, everything flows into your life, because you are living at the moment, and you are in the state of joy, and state of at least like a neutrality, so like there's no resistance. And a lot of times we want something in life, and we kind of like become obsessed to the point that stresses we kind of like constantly stress about it. And that actually blocks everything. It's because we are energy, and everything is frequency. So whatever frequency that we give out, it comes back to us, because like attracts like. So that kind of strong frequency that we give in as far as joy, or even like being naturally like comfort, ease, that gives that kind of energy and whatever that you want, knowing you kind of like realize and kind of constantly um, set that belief in yourself, that the knowingness that everything that you want comes to you, once you know that you are the source, you are everything, you are all the answers. And I would suggest everyone to just go within at least for a minute or two, and just close your eyes and focus on your breath. Or no, actually, Dr. Joe Dispenza mentioned a technique which is like really powerful. And just close your eyes and focus on the space around you. So what it does, it clears your mind from the clutter. So when you do that, nothing will come into your mind, or at least not from maybe one or two. So, and then like just stay in that state, and feel everything, and feel the space, feel whatever that you're feeling, and you just like, it feels like a void, and stay in that void and see how you feel. I bet you after a couple of times of doing it, you feel kind of like at ease. It just kind of like, um, it sets the tone for your life to kind of start attracting things, start seeing synchronicities in your life. And I mean, everything starts to flowing into your life, and it just comes with practice. Nothing is easy. You have to be committed and practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where most people get it incorrect. They get frustrated. They quit on themselves too soon. They say, oh, this isn't working because it's been 30 days. And I don't think they really understand the commitment that it actually takes to go through this programming, this reprogramming, a coach's program, working with Dr. Joe, whatever it is always longer than 30 days, because a habit takes at least minimally 66 days, up to 180 days. So y'all do that math. 66 days, that is not 30 days. That is 30 times 2 plus 6. So you need to really commit to yourself to um, practice this daily and multiple times a day, which is what I say here at a few short
Mhm.
minutes. I say, it only takes a few short minutes a day, which means multiple little minutes, right? Not just one, but multiple little minutes to rewire your brain for a better life. And that's true. That's exactly what Lily is saying, that it takes multiple times a day to float in that void. My void, I made it all black, like, but it's like a shiny sea black. And then I can feel the sun on my face, but I don't
Mhm.
see the sun. And
Mhm.
it is so peaceful in that black space to just float, like I'm almost floating on a raft, and just float along in that
I
black
know.
sea with it's so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's the best feeling ever. And once you get into it, you feel that ecstasy. So actually, recently, when I was doing meditation outside, I had a recent download, which was very, it was just amazing. It literally explained the whole situation of us being a human on on earth. So how what I saw, so I saw the image actually, so as if like visualize the source, God, whatever the higher power that you're connected with, or to, as a like a one, like unlimited, like infinite light. And then all these this light, it actually kind of like branched out, like down. It's like coming down, like I don't know how to describe it, because the image that I saw, it was just like little like that. Imagine a immersed light on top of, like, right on top of your head, and it just like little kind of like string of lights coming down. So each of these strings, it's God still, it's the source. It has projected the, the human body. So we are the projection of that light experiencing. So that, I mean, the extension of that light is in this body, but this body is the projection of the source in different, like, physicality, experiencing the whole consciousness. So it was like really powerful. And I saw that, like, many are not even aware that what you are God. It just like you are the extension of source is in you, and you're just disconnected, you're unaware, you have forgotten. And it was very powerful, actually.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like an
Yeah.
amazing download. I'm a little jealous. I'm a little
No,
jealous.
well, don't be, because me and you are one, and everyone has the capability. I always
Oh yeah.
say, unfortunately, we as human, we always tend to idolize people. And we have to understand that no one is superior or lower than the other. Everyone is at the same level. Everyone is just on a different journey. But once you learn how to tap in to yourself and allow that light, allow your inner self to shine through you, you can get downloads, you can get, I mean, everything makes sense to you, as if like you are like the source on earth. Like nothing is a big deal. And honestly, another thing is, there's a misconception that they think that if you get to the point that, for instance, your third eye is open, or like you're very connected and just like constantly manifesting things and stuff, it's like it's a happy, kind of like bubbly unicorn life, all the time. But that's not it, because life has ebbs and flow, and no matter what, you are going to experience those low times. And that's the beauty of it, because once you learn how to manipulate this energy and go with the flow, then even that low times, you see it like from a different perspective, and everything start making sense, and you allow things to happen. And then that low time, that negative situation that you're dealing with, it actually turns to completely something phenomenal.
There's always a gift or opportunity, even in the worst times. I promise you. I promise you. You might not see it right
Absolutely.
then, but
Mm-hmm.
there is. And I tell this story sometimes when I guest on podcasts about my brother. My brother took his own life in 2016,
I'm so
and
sorry.
yeah, it was. I actually was crying yesterday because I'm going home to see my mom, my dad, my other brother, his family, and there's like this hole of where my brother should be, and he's not any longer. Physically, he's not there any longer. I can't touch him. I can't talk to him. I can't, you know what I mean? Um, and I wouldn't have known it at the time, obviously. Like I was grieving massively and I fell into a depression for 2 years. And, but when I got out of it, I was like, okay, I'm going to honor him the best way I know how. And the best way I know how is helping people because that's what I do and that's what he did. And he would want this. And so that's how I started into my coaching career. And so even in the darkest of darks, you might not see it right then, but there
Yeah,
will be a gift or opportunity within that. And I can
absolutely.
say that honestly from
Mhm.
experience.
Mhm. Yeah. Sometimes you have to go to that dark hole in order to kind of like find yourself. And usually that's what happens. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Hard, really hard.
It
It's the
is
hardest
really
thing I've ever
hard.
done. But
Hmm.
yeah, the other side of it, when you kind of go, okay, what can I do with this to get something out of it, to,
Hmm.
the gift or
True.
opportunity?
Hmm.
And you might not know it for a while, but the path will be shown to you. The path will be shown to you. Now, the caveat here is, and I want you to explain what this is. If you are on autopilot, you might miss it. The chances are more significant that you would miss it than if you were self-aware most of the time. So, Lily, expand on what you mean by autopilot. What's your definition, and give people an example of what
Hmm.
they would feel or notice or whatever if they're actually on autopilot versus
Yeah.
self-awareness.
Hmm. Well, so as I said, the first 7 years of your life, you are downloading the information, how to walk, how to socialize, how to do things. And imagine if you wouldn't have. Like
Yeah.
every single day, you would have to learn how to walk, how to talk. Like, so, like, but it's a good thing. So, I mean, subconscious mind and the habit mind is a really good thing. Um, but as far as like when you grow up, some of these beliefs are not your belief and they're not healthy. And some of them are even toxic. So they are, even though that consciously you try to think that, oh, um, for instance, like money is a blessing. Like being abundant is a blessing. But if you have that program, that belief in your subconscious mind that money is evil, it's just going to stop you in the background because that belief is running on the background and preventing you to kind of like proceed in life towards that direction. And or if you feel like, oh no, I'm going to attract the love of my life, I deserve it. But if you, in the back of your mind, in your subconscious mind, you have this belief that you're not worthy, you never been worthy, you never been good enough, that's going to stop you from, because it's kind of like interacting together and contradict. So it's going to stop you from attracting that ideal partner to you. And so like but there is a good news. So as far as like consciously, if you have to be very cautious to repeat whatever that comes out of your mouth. Be very cautious because you're giving out that frequency to the world, to the universe. And what you can do with enough repetition, you can actually reprogram those beliefs. So like even if it's so hard for you to believe, like for instance, if you say like I'm beautiful, and then like something like says no you're not, and then kind of like being like kind of like sarcastic too, just ignore it, keep repeating it, and keep, even if it doesn't feel authentic, keep doing it. But eventually it's just going to get to the point that you are going to feel that way. So it's just going to like take some practice. And as far as like being aware that like is practice mindfulness. So you can try to be aware of couple of thoughts, negative thoughts, or things that you say to yourself, and see if you can stop yourself, catching yourself when you about to say them, so you stop that. And also another thing is, so like if you feel like you are, for instance, incapable of doing something, in life, do it anyway. But like try to find something that brings you pleasure. Act on your pleasure. Act on, try to find some, whatever it might be. Like it's really, it's not good that we are, and it's very unfortunate that we are disconnected with our inner GPS. We have an inner guidance system within us, but we don't recognize that we are disconnected, and that's why we're lost, we're stuck. So the way that I mean, that intuition, which is the inner GPS, per se. So within you, sometimes it can be a little bit subtle. So you won't be able to notice it. And the way that you can build more intensity to it is by meditation. So you get to the point that like you feel that intuition, as if like I'm getting chills right now, that it just like literally showing the way to you.
Yeah.
And you know that that's the truth. That's how it's supposed to be. And one of the ways to distinguish between intuition and your mind is when you feel the intuition, ask a question from yourself. The first answer, without any hesitation, that comes to you, that's intuition. That's
Yep.
your guidance system. And it's really powerful. We have been neglecting ourselves and noticing. And another thing that is, we have been told that we have to take care of everyone and love everyone, and we have been neglecting ourselves. And we constantly look for love outside of us, and that's why we're so unhappy. And a lot of times we think, I actually recorded a video on my Instagram about this subject, that I said a lot of people think that self-love is nonsense, and they say like, I want others to love me. So I mean, here is why self-love is very important. It's because when you love yourself, you show others how to treat you. And when you love yourself, you boost your confidence to the point that it makes you look more attractive. And then also, self love, it kind of like reduces the need for constantly being validated in relationships. So it leads to a more balanced relationship. And we need to realize that we are worthy of love, and we need to, like, as much as like we give others love and compassion, we deserve the same level of kindness and compassion. And we need to start focusing on that, because once our cup is full, we can give out that love unconditionally without any expectation. And that's something that unfortunately we haven't been practicing, because we constantly been told that we have to take care of everyone. We have
Yep.
to, and just like if you focus on you, it means that you're selfish. But that there's a fine line between being selfish and assertive. You have to put your needs first, consider your needs first before you can help others, because it's like you have a broken leg and you start running. So you don't want to destroy yourself on the way of giving out too much. First, you have to take care of yourself, and that's very essential.
Yeah. This brings up my niche, which is people pleasing women, because that's very much, our story in that aspect. And I remember I remember one day that my therapist was like, people pleasing is actually the other side of the coin from narcissism. And I
Mhm.
said, what? Like, I don't feel superior to anybody. I don't want to put people down. I don't, whatever. And she was like, no, 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 you don't hear me. They're both manipulations. One
Mm-hmm.
is to appear bigger than everybody, so everybody idolizes you. And the other is you feel small, so you need people to idolize you. And you are manipulating people because you are doing things for them, expecting them to be grateful, expecting
Mm-hmm.
them to do the same for you,
Mm-hmm.
expecting them to be like, oh, you're a lifesaver. You're manipulating it. And it might be subconscious, whatever, but it is a manipulation, as is
Mm-hmm.
narcissism. And that has stuck with me for years.
Mm-hmm.
I am still trying to like turn it around and look at it different ways and facets and what my behavior has been over the years. And it is just fascinating to me that they are two sides of the same coin.
That's really interesting that you say that because I was exactly like that. I tried to kind of like constantly praise people because I wanted to be validated. And yeah, it's not a good place to be.
No,
And
you
then
destroy yourself.
yeah. And then actually before we end this, I wanted to mention this that I forgot to mention when we were talking about men like being disconnected from their like intuitive like intuition and nurturing side. It's That's why usually men have an avoidant attachment style or distant attachment style because usually when a little kid like a little boy, usually they say you're a man, you're a boy,
Suck it
you
up.
don't get to
Don't
no,
cry.
you don't cry. Men don't cry. Men don't cry. So that's why even in relationship usually you notice that men run away from problems because they don't want to deal with that emotion.
Yeah, the
So
feelings.
and usually like yeah, so I'm partnering up with another coach. He's amazing. His name is Edward, and we are going to work together, and I'm going to focus on men and he's going to focus on women. So I think it would be a great collaboration because I haven't seen any kind of like coaches like that to kind of be specialized on men and women to that extent because I feel like men and women both need different approaches and
Sure.
they need someone to be able to connect with, and usually men can connect better to a woman coach than men because of their ego. They're like, oh, wait, another man is telling me what to do. So, like, and usually women kind of like may be able to kind of see, connect better to a male coach in a way that if they want to balance their masculine energy, which is it's more about strength and like doing things and being capable of things, it would be a better approach for them to see it from a masculine coach who has been dealing with most of his life doing and kind of like accomplishing things. So I think it would be a great collaboration, and we are going to do that. And I'm very excited.
Yeah, so tell people where they can find you, about your program. When do
Mhm.
you anticipate having something with Edward going? Give them, how do they find you if they want to work with you, Lily?
Yes, absolutely. So right now, my website is focused on women empowerment because initially I was focused only on women, but then I got to the point that I noticed that, I mean, regardless of gender, every individual needs to be balanced within their masculine and feminine energies. So, for that aspect, I need to actually make some changes. I probably will. I mean, Edward is going to be on my website soon. So, we're going to make some changes. But either way, you can reach me. You can go to my website. It's www.ultimateempowerment.com .com,
Okay, cool.
ultimateempowerment.com. And once you click on schedule a discovery call, um, there is going to be a questionnaire that you're going to go through, and will either me or Edward will get back with you. And also, there is a freebie on my website about self care that I would definitely encourage you to download. Um, and Also, you can connect. I'm on to me on Instagram. It's underline ultimate empowerment underline.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll go from there.
The links will all be in the bio, of course, of how to reach her. And so I highly recommend, at the very least, go download that self care freebie, regardless of your gender. It doesn't matter, non-binary, men, women, it doesn't matter, because we all, every single one of us, need more self-care in our life. We are not used to putting ourselves first, and again, that is genderless.
Right.
And so when we do, magical things happen.
Yes. And actually, Edward and I are going to do a webinar, and we're still kind of like brainstorming on what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be amazing. It will be posted on Instagram.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Again, you guys, go follow her on Instagram. Go check out our website. Again, it's all in the description below. And so, Lily, thank you so much for joining me
No,
today
thank
on my new
you for
season.
having me.
Yeah,
That
of
was my
course.
pleasure.
And when you and Edward are like solid and moving, come back and we'll do the three
Absolutely.
of us.
Yeah,
Sound good?
I think that would be amazing. Yes,
Yeah, me
absolutely.
too. Me too. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. You know I appreciate you. I just want to remind you, it takes only a few short minutes a day to reprogram your brain for a better life. So please like, subscribe, do all the YouTubey things. And the haircut and I will see you next time. Have a great day, y'all.